let's talk about the Springfield Custom Professional 1911, specifically in 9mm. I just picked this up in trade maybe a month or so ago, and I've got to say, this thing is impressive. I don't know if it's worth whatever the hell they're asking for, $3,200, but it is nice. So first off, when you buy these, you get a real nice hard case. You know, this is a bit oversized, but it's a hard case. Fits the pistol in and 6 magazines, a plastic bushing wrench, a lock, that type of stuff. But what you've all been waiting for is this pistol. It is just a very simple, elegant, and well put together pistol. It's really all it is. And it shoots incredibly well. They spend a lot of time doing a lot of hand fitting and all of that, as you would expect at this price range. And again, this is more than a less bear. This is pushing in on Wilson territory. And, you know, I'm not going to say which one's better. It doesn't matter at that point. It's all personal preference, in my opinion. But let's go over this. This is a Springfield coating. I think they call it Tough Coat or some Armory Coat or something along those lines. It's very nice. It's got a matte finish to it, and it looks really, really good. The finish is honestly just done very nicely. The fitting, I don't know how well you're going to see this, but the slide to frame rail fit is actually very nice. Everything's been nicely rounded through here. There's no hard edges. It's just, they've spent the time to make it feel like it should at, $3,000. It's very clean on the sides, I think. The roll marks aren't overly gaudy. They are fairly simple. The right side's got a little bit much. I mean, you got this custom shop logo, Springfield Armory, and their Springfield logo. But on the other side, just says Professional, caliber 9mm. Very simple, very straightforward. No cocking serrations up front, but you do have nice ones in the back. You've got some very nice checkering here on the back of the grip, as well as on the front. Overall, it's been put together real nice. The slide is very smooth, but it's very heavy, I guess I should say. The spring in here seems like it's a fairly heavy spring. I'm not sure what weight they use, but this is not like the super lightweight slide action that you would expect on my Atlas, for example. Or even a Staccato. Those seem to be sprung a lot lighter. This has a fairly heavy spring to it, but it's very smooth. The trigger, if memory serves, it's right around 5 pounds, maybe 4 pounds. I can't recall what they call it as, but it's definitely heavier than a competition gun or anything like that, but it is very nice. As far as the feel of the trigger, this is a very nice trigger, assuming you're fine with the weight of it, which at this point you should be. Let's just bring this here. You've got just a touch of take-up, if that's going to show. Very little take-up. And then, as is typical with the 1911, a wonderfully clean break. And then the reset, very short. Let's do that again. Super short reset. I like that. The trigger itself is very short. Once you get past this just initial take-up, you can call it slop, looseness, whatever you want to call it. I'd hesitate to call it slop because the trigger is very nice, but just that pre-travel. Then once you get on that trigger, this thing is just exactly what you want in a 1911. Now, this is a 9mm, so, all you purists are going to hate it because it's not a 45. Too bad. 9's plenty good. You get a couple extra rounds in a single stack. I took this out to the range. I've got, I'll just call it 200 rounds, give or take, through it, and it's very impressive. If I had to put money on which one would be more accurate between my Atlas and this, it would be a very tough call. I would say it's probably my Atlas, but this is not far behind. Just to give you an idea of the level of accuracy that this one has. I went through, like I said, I went through about 200 rounds, but a number of times I would put 2 magazines in, and at 15 yards, I just had a single ragged hole. That doesn't mean one bullet, one hole, but all of my shots were just in a nice grouping, touching. Probably about the width of 3 or 4 rounds. So it's very accurate and it's very repeatable. It's very nice. But as far as the money, it's a lot of money for a 1911. For a very basic looking 1911. But it is fit very well, it's put together well, and it seems to be nice. It is cool that they came out with the 9mm, and while I wasn't specifically looking for this one, it did just kind of, I stumbled on it and was able to trade something for it, and now I've got that operator that or the professional, Springfield Professional that I always wanted. So it is cool, it is neat. Another 1911 to the collection. For those of you who have always, you know, kind of had this on your list, you need to go shoot it. Again, this is everything you want a 1911 to be. There's nothing, this doesn't go wrong on anything. It may not be the prettiest, although I would argue there's beauty in its simplicity. But it just is classic. And I like that. And even these grips, I think these are rosewood, they're wood, I believe it's a rosewood. The checkering on them is very nice. Again, very classic, very nice. Everything on this is just put together well. Even the safety just feels really good. It's very positive, it's not overly heavy. It is ambi safety, so you've got a safety on both sides here. And let's see if we can get a good shot. This is not one of those overly wide safeties. It's a very narrow safety. But it works well. Oh, and the sights are Novak sights with tritium inserts front and back. So sights are actually pretty solid. In the daylight, you've just got the faint tritium. It's not glowing, but you have a little bit of a contrast, not a lot. They just have tiny silver rings around the tritium, although that might actually just be the tritium vial itself. I would like a little more contrast on that front sight, but it works. Very happy with the way it's fit, very happy with this trade, how it turned out. Honestly, I wouldn't change anything about it. I don't know if I would spend $3,200 on it, but if you can find one for closer to $2,500, it becomes worthwhile in my book. I do know that you can get these with or without a rail, and obviously you can get them in 45, or this one here is a 9mm. But that's just my quick thoughts on this Springfield Armory Professional, and like I said, phenomenal pistol. I really like it. Don't know if it's worth quite what they ask for it, but it is a very well put together 1911, and if you're looking for or budgeting for one of those, a pistol that you'll hand down to your kids, something nice but not too flashy, definitely throw this on your list. Something to look into, something to try. I think you'll enjoy it. I know I do. Anyway, hope you found it somewhat useful. Take care, and we'll do this again another day.